As a fine drizzle fell over the old streets of London, the mist wrapped around the city like a veil. Emma Watson walked through the narrow Victorian alleyways, distancing herself from the crowd. Ever since childhood, her fascination with ancient books and historical artifacts had often led her on discovery journeys like this. That evening, she had wandered into a street that seemed to lead into nothingness when she noticed a faded sign, Blackwood Library, 1847. This was a place that had seemed lost for years, its existence forgotten, until fate led a select few to its doorstep. In the dusty display window, behind the glass, old manuscripts and thick leather-bound books stood in solemn silence. For a moment, she hesitated, wondering if she should enter, but her curiosity outweighed her caution. As she pushed the door open, the aged wooden floor let out a faint creak. Inside, the flickering light of a few candles cast shifting shadows across the countless books lining the shelves. Emma took a deep breath and walked slowly between the rows of books. Some were so ancient that their covers had nearly fossilized with time. When she lightly placed her hand on one of them, she heard a faint sound, like the ticking of an old clock. Turning her attention toward the source, she noticed an old door in a dimly lit corner, nearly invisible. The inscription on the door made her pause. "Do not enter." But this warning only fueled her curiosity further. Along the edge of the door, barely legible from years of wear, another phrase was etched. "The truth is hidden here." She hesitated for a moment before pushing the door gently. The rusty hinges groaned, and a small cloud of dust rose into the air. As her eyes adjusted to the dim light, she realized she was standing in an old study. A desk sat in the center, covered in worn maps, yellow documents, and a magnifying glass. But what drew her attention the most was a black-covered notebook lying in the middle of the desk. As she approached, she noticed an ancient seal engraved on the cover. But what was even more intriguing were the sealed envelopes surrounding the notebook. All of them were unopened, and none had a date. Emma made a decision. She opened the notebook. As she flipped through the pages, she found handwritten coded notes, intricate symbols, and texts that seemed almost magical in nature. One page stood out from the rest. It bore a meticulously carved ancient seal. And next to it, a single sentence was written. "If this knowledge is revealed, history will be rewritten." For a moment, Emma considered putting the notebook down, but she had always been someone who pursued the truth. She had grown up reading books that inspired the world, surrounded by art, and most importantly, believing that humanity had the right to know the truth. Just then, she heard a faint rustling behind her. A shadow moved. She spun around. Emerging from the shadows was the elderly owner of the bookshop, Mr. Aldrich. His eyes were fixed on the notebook in Emma's hands. "The one who opens that notebook becomes the keeper of its secrets," he said, his voice soft but firm. A chill ran down Emma's spine. "What is inside this notebook?" she asked. Mr. Aldrich remained silent for a moment before taking a deep breath and speaking. That notebook belonged to a forbidden society in the 19th century. They were the last guardians of secrets history had chosen to forget. If you reveal what is written in those pages, everything we know about the world could change. Emma gripped the notebook tighter. "But why? I need to know what's so dangerous about it." The old man closed his eyes briefly before replying. "Because some truths, once known, bring chaos." Emma turned the pages quickly until she found a name. Edmund Blackwood. It was the same as the library's name, and at the very back of the notebook, an address, faded and nearly illegible. Emma took a deep breath. "You say these secrets must remain hidden, but maybe they need to be revealed." The old man narrowed his eyes, saying nothing, but Emma had already made up her mind. That notebook was now her destiny, and she was ready to embark on the journey to uncover its secrets.